Hello everyone, it's Jay from the GamebustersUK and welcome back to Dragon Quest VIII Journey of the Cursed King. Now in the last episode we had to deal with Prince Charmles, whatever the hell his name is, Mr. Annoying. But now we don't have to deal with him anymore. We've done the Royal Hunting Grounds, although I have missed an item in the Royal Hunting Grounds, so we are going to return there. Because you can go there whenever you want now. You will not encounter any Argon lizards. There will be random encounters. Yeah, you can just go in there if you like miss treasure. There's like a couple of treasures in there that I missed that are important because I am trying to get everything in the game. At least not like enemy drops, because I could like spend forever trying to go for enemy drops, but actual treasure that you can find and pick up and whatnot. Okay, so before we go deal with the magic mirror, because we've got the magic mirror now, King Clavius kind of gave it to us, and, well, it's out of magic. So we have to go and apparently to this forest place where this wise old man is, who apparently knows how to recharge the mirror, so to speak, so that we can go to the Dark Ruins and finally take down Dolmagus. But before we get there, well, one thing is I'm going to level up off camera, probably at least until Angela learns multi-heal at least. I'm normally around level 30 at minimum, maybe 32. Kind of depends. You could probably cheese it if you have like better armor and stuff and whatnot. But speaking of better armor, it's time for some more alchemy. Now I'm just going to explain some recipes that you could do here. I'm only going to cover what essentially I would do with what my characters are. Like there are like knife recipes and whatnot, but I'm not using knives, you know. There's hammers, but I'm not using hammers. There's swords, I'm not really using swords too much. It depends. I sometimes use swords, it depends on the situation. So some of the things that you can do now, and we've also got the Bazaar. But before I just get into the whole Bazaar thing more and the recipes and stuff, because like I say, the Bazaar's open, which kind of just like, oh hey, look, we've got all this stuff now. We can do a bunch of different recipes. Of course, if you know how to, you've played this game before, or you can just look up a guide, I suppose, like kind of what I do, just kind of remind myself of things. Because I don't remember everything off by heart. There's so many different recipes. But the beauty of playing this game anyway, like knowing this game, is that you can make things a bit earlier than usual. Sometimes it's not worth it. Sometimes it is. It kind of depends, really. Because, in a lot of cases, you can just make stuff and sell it for profit. In other cases, you actually might end up spending more than... and there's more than one way to make a recipe as well, which I sometimes forget. So yeah, and I guess like it's rarer as well. I think it's kind of I can't explain it myself, but when I look up at guides, they create levels, as in like the level takes longer. So I don't know if it's more effective. It may well be. I'm not too sure about that, but an interesting little tidbit. If you speak to this girl here, she has something that's a little interesting about King Clavius. Did you know that King Clavius had an elder brother called Eltrio? Had. When you say had, he's passed away? Well, apparently he gave up his title and everything and left Argonia. Oh, or do you mean like he got disowned because he just... Okay, so he just gave up. He's just like, oh, I don't want to be prince anymore, and he just left. You don't know why though. Yeah, that's an interesting tidbit. Now, not to spoil anyone in case anyone's played this game, so I won't spoil it. It will be revealed. But clearly, when the king saw the hero, he reminded him of someone. We didn't know he had a brother though. Interesting, eh? And I'll leave it at that. Alright, now it's time to get on to... You're such a tease. I'm kidding. So, alright, now it's time to go into more of the Bazaar and the recipes. So I've actually got a list up here to make it easier. So one thing that you can do is you can make the Titan belt, which is like another accessory by using the strength ring and a leather kilt. Now, strength rings are kind of rare. So rare to the point where seeds are somewhat rare, but at least you can find seeds. Now, you can actually make a strength ring out of a prayer ring and a seed of strength. Now, I'll just say right now, there is a seed of strength that you can get if you haven't got it right now. The desert opposite south to Argonia, but you have to, well, I say it's south, you can't access it from here, you have to go round, but technically if you look on the map it is south from Argonia. You have to go round on a ship and go to this desert island, and there's really nothing there but a couple of treasure chests and a monster recruitment encounter if you want, but he's not really that good, to be honest, so I don't bother. But he's there if you just want to battle him, get the monster coin or something, sell it. Or just the encounter or whatever, you can do that, and then get a seed of strength that way. Seeds actually do, actually useful for recipes as well if you want. It sort of depends. If you feel more benefit to use the seed, then use the seed. Also, like seed of agility, you can make agility ring, I believe, as well by putting that in a prayer ring, which can also be good because eventually I do want to get a meteor bracelet, which is basically a much better agility ring. But I want to say there is another agility ring I can get, which I thought I got, but I haven't. So I might be thinking, well, I have one, but I might be thinking either like too early or I missed an agility ring. I'm not too sure. But the magic vestment, I believe, looking at my list here, this can actually be used to make some other stuff as well. Like, for example, the sage's robe, scholar's cap, and a magic vestment. So if you want to do that, you can, which I think is for Jessica, which I think you might be able to find or buy at some point as well, the sage's robe. And I think you can make that into a crimson robe for Angelo, if you like. So naturally, I can't 100% remember what the Sage's Robe does. It might be like boosting magic or something. It's probably something like that. I mean, it's the Sage's Robe. It's got to be something like that, right? So, I mean, as you can see here, the Magic Vestment, an enchanted garment that reduces damage from spells. So it's good to reduce damage from spells. Naturally, only Jessica and Angelo can wear them. Of course, you can still do stuff with the silver mail and whatnot, and I think with the battle axe as well. You can do some like different stuff and whatnot. But yeah, I mentioned the mighty amulet, which I have one. Actually, no, not the mighty amulet. The meteor brace is what I have one, but you can make a mighty amulet by also using a strength ring and a titan belt. So yeah, strength rings. You need strength rings for these type of stuff. And again, they're not exactly easy to get if you've been using your seed of strength, which I do, because I'm not too bothered. I don't do all these recipes, obviously. In this case, I'm trying to do as many as I can, if not all of them. But in most cases, I only go for like what I personally choose. It's preferences, because you can get everything at some point. But it's like, oh, hey, I can get this now, or I can get this later, or I can get this other thing now. So it's kind of deciding, like, what do you prefer? What do you prefer right now? It's more of a thing, because there's actually one thing I want to get is dragon armor. However, at this point, unless you're willing to go for drops, then you're kind of limited. It's like, okay, do I choose the dragon helm, the dragon shield, or the dragon plate armor? So again, you got to decide like which do you prefer, because you can eventually buy the dragon armor, I'm pretty certain, and I want to say you might even be able to find one or two pieces in a treasure chest much later on. But the dragon armor is actually that good at this point that I would highly recommend getting at least one piece if you can by making one. Definitely. If you want to go out of your way to I think the Hexosaurus drop dragon scales. If you want to go out of your way to try that, you can, but it's not recommended unless you don't mind grinding for that. But it's not recommended if you want to get all the plate of armor right now. But I wouldn't bother, honestly. I would just make up with what you've got, what's available for you. That's much easier. And just make one, maybe can't kind of speak, make the shield or the armor on the helm. Honestly, the shield is really good, so I might make the shield. If not, I'll probably make the full plate armor. It sort of depends. Looking at like what type of armor I've got, you know, because I think the hero is the only one who can wear it. I want to say Yangus can't. I want to say Yangus might be able to wear the shield, but not everything else. I can't remember, but I'm pretty certain it's mainly for the hero. And it's pretty good armor, honestly. It really is, especially for this earlier on. So I definitely recommend doing it. So we're going to do that at some point. We're going to make one of the pieces of the armor. Like I said, we've got the mighty armlet, which is strength ring, and the titan belt. So you need strength rings. Of course, to make a strength ring, there's prayer ring and seed of strength. For strength ring, prayer ring, you can use a gold ring and seed of magic, which you don't get seed of magic very often. But if you have a seed of magic and you have a gold ring, you can do that. But again, prayer rings is one of those things which is kind of rare right now. But fun little tidbit, actually. Fun little tidbit. If we go up to the merchant, I believe that thief dude, I think it's the same guy, the guy who spoke to the prince, you could talk to him. Of course, for the prince, right? He's rich. This dude, I think it is this dude, right? He's very dodgy. He will sell stuff that you can get, but he sells them at ridiculous prices. Well, I mean ridiculous. I mean literally, there's one prayer ring. that's it. Everything else is just kind of. I think he sells the herbs for a lot more though. I think the herbs aren't they like 6 or something? 6 gold. It's really cheap. So yeah, he does raise the prices. But this, a prayer ring can cost 3,000 elsewhere. Wait, don't waste your money. They're good for alchemy, but don't waste your money. This guy will rip you off. Don't, unless you really want it. No, man. You could buy it for 3,000 and then sell it off for like 1,500 gold. Don't. Alright. Definitely not. If you want a gold ring, you can buy one here. Tough guy tattoo, as I mentioned before, is also good. Scholar specs, if you want to make like that sage's robe. Things like that. If you don't have one, and we've got ruby protections as well. Of course, you got the bunny tail for like Jessica's outfit, even though I've already done it myself, so it's kind of like I don't need that right now. Another really good shield though is the power shield, cursed cheese, magic shield, plus strength ring, which I think I want to say. I'll check you real sec. Blech. Yeah, you sell the magic shield, which is 5,000 gold. Again, if you need some gold, you can either sell or go fight the gold golems and Neos, which I might do at some point. Of course, I don't need the iron mask because I already have one. I could buy another one for Yangus, but look, it's only a little bit better, so I'm not gonna bother. You know, there's not really much point. We've also got a magical hat, which we don't need as well. Got magic armor as well. So yeah, we've got the magic shield here, which you can, again, you might be able to find at some point. But if you want to buy that, you can, which I might end up doing, honestly. Magic shield, and then you can do cured cheese, strength ring, and get a power shield, which is really good at this point of the game. Later on, they sell for quite a lot, I believe. So if you can get it, I'd recommend it. It's a really good shield. And that's mainly the reason why I might not bother getting the dragon shield, only because, well, I'm going to get the power shield. It kind of depends, you know, but it's a really good shield. I recommend it if you can get it. The giant's armor is a bit more complicated to do, but if you have 2 mighty armlets and then the bandit mail, then that's a really good armor for Yankus. Like, I can't remember if it's like the best armor for him in the game, but it's up there. It is really good. The problem is, it's just the amount of, you know, it's the mighty armlets. You need so many strength rings that honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if you don't get it. I'm not getting it. It's too much effort, really, right now. Like, no. But what we will be doing is the demon sphere. So I'm actually going to do that right now. Let's get that going. We've got everything we need for the demon spear. You know that battle fork that we got and that devil's tail? Well. if you get a poison needle, which you can buy at Baccarat, and I believe somewhere else as well, but I can't remember. I don't think you can buy it here, but you can definitely buy it for Baccarat. Now, if we get the battle fork, the giant table fork, pretty much. Oh no. Go back. There we go. I'm getting confused now, aren't I? Devil's Tail. Poison Needle. This will make the Demon Spear, which is a nice upgrade for the hero. So why not? Let's do that. Let's do that for now. We're getting a bit of an upgrade. You can keep this and you can do like Holy Rapier. Not Holy Rapier. Do I have it on me? I don't know, but I think it's like Holy Prayer Rapier or something like that. It's essentially you can make a sword for Angelo, but I'm not going to do that. So, now this Demon Spear is probably going to take a little bit. So we'll let that settle, but that's fine. We've got things to do anyway. That power shield you can always use for Chirion's bow as well for Angelo, but I'm probably not going to do that right now. Honestly, if I do make a power shield, it's really useful, so I'd rather do that. But something that is useful, which I think you have to again speak to the guy in the bazaar. Luckily, the bazaar will be here. Well, it won't actually be here, but it will always be available to you, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, this dude, Zombie Bane is actually really good against, well, zombies. If you're a sword user for the main character, then recommended to get it just for, honestly, the next area, the Dark Ruins. The Dark Ruins is filled with undead, pretty much. I think they are all undead. So you could always just do that. You don't have to, of course. You can still be fine. But this does 1.3 roughly, I believe. It definitely does more damage. I don't know why my voice went up there. And you can actually upgrade it immediately by using an Holy Talisman, which is fairly easy to get. And then it becomes the Zombie Slayer, which is 1.6. So and it's up to you. You can do this. You don't have to do this. I'm not sure if I'm going to do this right now. If not, but that's an option. So if you're a sword user, that's definitely an option. You can do that, and then you can do that. You can have a strong zombie weapon, and just a strong sword weapon. If you luckily need another sword right now, that could be a good option. But let's say it's really good against zombies, and especially like the next area, so it might be worth doing it. That's totally up to you. Anyway, I think that's it. I feel like wow, this has literally just been the recipe. I'm sorry for how much I ramble, but it's one of those let's plays where I'm very passionate about, so I'm trying to like explain everything and cover everything, because I'm not gonna lie, guys, I wake up and I was like, I need to record some Dragon Quest. I seriously do. And I was so looking forward to it. I love this game. I was really like, okay. Whew! Breathe! Breathe! Breathe, man, breathe. Okay. So, anyway, what we can do, I like what it's like, it's trying to look at his symbol. What who trains him? Who trains this guy? Anyway, there's some things that we can do before we go to this guy in the forest that's going to help us basically with the magic mirror. So before we do that, well, let's get some ingredients and stuff. Let's get some ingredients. Now, when I checked for like south, I was a bit confused because I was like, okay, I missed a dragon scale, and then I found that there's actually a dragon scale south of Argonia, and it says the desert south. Now if you look down, you can see like some sand, right? That's a desert down there, and you think, oh, that's south. I mean, it is, but you can't access it from here. You have to go to your boat and then go round, but it's still technically south. But no, that's not where it is. It's a bit confusing, but it's actually southwest. is actually southwest, so that's not quite right. South, technically, that is that desert down there, but southwest, path to the left of us, as we're seeing it. If we go down there, you can actually get a dragon scale, which we will be getting. It's an area that's a little bit stronger, so you could say we're going there a bit earlier. But they kind of leave it open, so I assume it's just kind of one of those things where, hey, you're welcome to explore that area, and the enemies are only a little bit stronger, so you should be alright. There are some old enemies, so you'll encounter some weak enemies, which are not that bad, and you'll encounter some new ones that will hit harder. But it's actually an entrance to a dungeon. It's actually an entrance to a dungeon that you can go to. But before we go there anyway, let's go back to the raw hunting grounds. Now the dungeon, if we could go there, then yeah, the encounter will definitely be up. And we actually encounter a new metal slime there. So it's not for a while. It's not for a while. We can't go there, but we can go to the desert surrounding it. And there's a dragon scale and dragon dung. Yes, you heard me correctly. And you can actually buy dragon dung, I think. But it's post-game. Yeah, it's literally post-game. So that's pretty rare. Dragon dung, recipes, that's the only reason. That's the only reason. Although you can't use cowpat for anything, so I don't even know why you picked that up. That's kind of creepy. Can I run away from these dudes? I can. I'm actually going to check the our monsters, actually. Just having a look and see where we are with that. I like to keep up to date. There's our dragon scale. Nice. Dragon scale's really good, like I said, for making dragon armor. Dragon rated stuff, so definitely worth it. I believe the dragon armor literally is just what you kind of expect it to be. It's it protects you. Well, it does less. Takes less damage from fire attacks, I believe. So now the good thing about this area is that it might not seem like it, but it's actually classed as a dungeon, so you can nose for treasure with Yankus, and he'll be like, "Oh yeah, there's treasures remaining." I totally forgot about this. There's just this sash, like this sash just hanging up here, and if you go in, seems like someone's left a mini medal. Definitely need that so we can get our medal requirements, and that's it. That's literally it. We've gone walking a hat. You can let me run. You are nice, and that's it. So I was gonna do this, but I'm somewhat not too bothered. But if you go to Argonia from here, is the fastest way to do it. And the desert I told you south, but you need the ship for. There is a Yggdrasil leaf if you want one, and a strength seed of strength. I want to say strength ring, seed of strength. If you want to get those now, you can. I'm not too bothered. Not too bothered. I might go and get them, but I don't know. I'm not too bothered about that right now, so I'm not going to do it. But with that said, we are going to get the upper dragon scale. So let us call our friend the Sabertooth, and let's get going. So you get a little, like, I guess, sneak peek of the new area. Somewhat. So now we're going right instead of left. Oop, crap. Which is honestly kind of on the way to the forest, which is actually will be classed as the mystical spring, because there's actually a spring there, which is really cool. No. Okay, good. Now, I believe there's some treasure chests as well along the way, which could be really useful. And I want to say that there is a prayer ring as well somewhere. I can't remember where exactly. I'm trying to think. I think there is a prayer ring somewhere, but I'm trying to remember